I'm like 70% Indian and 30, maybe 25% Korean and 5% from the US or something.
And आप हिंदी भी बोल सकते हो.
थोड़ा बोल सकते हैं.
You grew up in India and you originally from South Korea, but you can also speak Hindi.
So whenever you go to like Taj Mahal or these
Monuments
or
historical
monuments,
part. Yeah.
I try to be a different person. I try to be from Northeast, and I say everything in. I show my Aadhaar card, and I show okay, मैं अंग्रेज नहीं हूँ, and then I try to just get free sort of
correct,
like cheaper tickets.
Tickets.
I still remember this. It was like kind of like a surprising culture shock to me, which was I started the conversation to a friend.
Okay.
Then suddenly the teacher comes from the back and slaps the friend. just because I have chatted with the person. So I felt really bad, and I think after that he didn't really talk to me. So I was like, oh shit, what did I do wrong? You know, I was kind of like feeling very bad, and that happened twice.
But it's a normal thing in India. So we can say that you grow up eating chola bhatura instead of kimchi.
You can say that, yeah. I mean, I didn't like school food as much because they always give dal and rice. My favorite thing is butter chicken. Anytime, any day. We all have to do a military service.
Yes.
So Korea, that is correct. Something that just kind of thought that maybe I should sort of do something in lines with
I think it is also essential in India now.
Oh, yeah. So we have to do 2 years of service.
Oh.
What people usually do is they would go to the college for, let's say, half a semester a year, and then, you know, come and do the service and go back. I still remember because I was just like lockdown happened, and then police were chasing with the stick.
Right.
I was scared. I was running. I wanted to go just buy vegetables. That was I would remember. The bubble tea actually originated from Taiwan. So I just want to put that out because
a lot of people has misconception that it is from Korea.
Now we doubled the sales of matcha in a month span, and we're going to do more on matcha.
हेलो नमस्ते एंड अंग हासे हो. अब आपको पहले 2 वर्ड समझ आ चुके होंगे, लेकिन जो तीसरा वर्ड है मैंने वो हेलो बोला है इन कोरियन. एंड व्हाई आई सेड इट इन कोरियन बिकॉज टुडे इन द 8th episode of Cashify presents Be the Chain podcast series, we have with us a special guest directly from South Korea. Yes, YuSung Eo. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Let's start this conversation with a little brief. So he is from Korea, who did his schooling in India, went to US for university, and his love for India convinced him to come back here and start his entrepreneurial journey. And he is the co-founder of one of the tastiest bubble tea brands of India, Got Tea. Oh, here it is. Thank you for this tea.
Yes.
It's matcha, I guess.
Yeah, this is matcha.
And matcha is all over the internet these days.
Right now, yes.
Yes. There is also a debate that is going on between matcha and coffee. What's your take on this?
Well, I also drink a lot of coffee, so I wouldn't say like, you know, you have to drink matcha. But matcha has its own benefits, different take on the beverage. We also had matcha in the longest time. We've been serving matcha. And we just wanted to do it in the right way, because a lot of times it gets bitter and, you know, people think, okay, this is grassy bitter, I'm not going to have it. But we're trying to do it in the right way. And better way of serving it, like, you know.
Yes.
Because everyone has different taste buds. So something that is trending right now, yes. It's also an amazing product, I think.
Yes, and gone are the days when people talk over coffee. It's time for the tea.
Yeah, I mean, India grows a lot of tea, but
yes.
Right now there's a lot of coffee revolution happening too. So this is a good space to be in.
It's actually tasty.
Okay, that's good.
And आप हिंदी भी बोल सकते हो.
थोड़ा बोल सकते हो.
What's the funniest or I can say the most surprising assumption that people have made? Then they came to know that you grew up in India and you originally from South Korea, but you can also speak Hindi.
So there is this thing I always try. So whenever you go to like Taj Mahal or these national,
Monuments
parks or
historical
monuments,
part. Yeah.
I try to be a different person. I try to be from Northeast, and I I say everything in. I show my Aadhaar card, and I show okay, मैं अंग्रेज नहीं हूँ, and then I try to just get free sort of
Correct.
like cheaper tickets.
Cheaper
right?
tickets, because the ticket for
Yeah.
foreign national is actually costlier.
So far it has been working out for me.
But after this podcast, I think
Maybe, unfortunately, but
you revealed your secret.
yeah.
So if anyone from the historical department or the archaeological department of India seeing this podcast, they will definitely recognize you next time.
Okay, but then I'll happily pay. But I hope they also consider me as
But
being an
since
Indian.
you have Aadhaar card, you
since
have
I've
the
been,
proof.
Yeah, I've been here for
Yeah.
like almost 12 years now.
Right. Oh.
Yeah, I love the people. I just been in love with the country or the background or anything that I've been raised with. Such a grateful opportunity to have. My love for India has been a lot.
Yeah. Before getting into the serious things about the business, there are two things that is trending in India right now. First one is the love for K-dramas. There is a lot of love and fan base of K-dramas here in India. Apart from it, the second thing that is trending right now is the bubble tea. The love for bubble tea. So I want to know about from you, what's your favorite top 3 K-dramas?
Okay. I actually watched quite a few dramas because being staying alone and just like go on Netflix and just like
Correct.
play a few things. But most of them I know in like Korean titles, not necessarily in English titles.
You can pronounce it.
So recent one I've watched is 선제 없고티야. That's been a great drama that I think I've recently watched and finished. And there is this very old drama that I started with, which was 개걸춘향. I don't think a lot of people know this drama, but that's something that I grew up with. So something that I resonate with a lot. Then I might have to choose. 응답하라 there are like different series of these dramas that make you reminiscent of your time. So there are like 3 series, I think. So that's something that is also on Netflix. Maybe people can go check it out.
I'm definitely going to watch all of these 3 because I haven't watched any K-drama yet. But since you recommended it, definitely will give it a try. Wanted to know what is a bubble tea since we are sipping it, right? And how is it different from the ordinary or normal milk tea? Because it is very popular among Gen Zs in India.
So the bubble tea actually originated from Taiwan. So I just want to put that out because
a lot of people has misconception that it is from Korea.
Yeah, that was actually a slight issue for me as well because when we started in Sapdajong and there was a guest from Taiwan who was visiting our store. She, one of our staff have conveyed that bubble tea is from Korea. So then she got very upset and never came back. And I found this out on like maybe 2 years after.
Okay, that it is originated from Taiwan.
No.
About that
she
incident.
was upset.
That incident.
Of course, I knew that it's from Taiwan. I visited Taiwan before starting the business, and I also worked in like some of the small like kiosk kind of setup. But I just want to put it out there so that it's originated from Taiwan. But the flavors, the drinks that we make, I would say are very unique because we try to use fresh fruits. We try to use all fresh ingredients of the tea because it comes from Assam. We have abundant tea in India. Just wanted to marriage both and also make it into a bubble tea. The way I define bubble tea is customizing your own beverage is called bubble tea. not necessarily just popping boba or tapioca pearls. Just by adding it doesn't make it a bubble tea for me. But it's more like, okay, I like it less sweet, I like no ice, I like the tea to be stronger. That customization gives you and respects your taste bud. So that's something I would define as a bubble tea, rather than just tapioca pearls. Okay, that defines bubble tea.
What's the secret of the sweetness and the taste that it has? Because when I tasted it, it is a bit different from all the bubble tea that I have tasted yet.
So this one is actually a mango matcha.
Okay.
So mango, we actually make it from fresh mango, not like even frozen one. We peel each and cut it and make a pickle out of that, and then that goes into your drink with matcha. And matcha also we use like a fresh matcha sourced from Japan.
Okay.
So everything that you get in a cup is freshly made in that day. Even the regular milk that we get is a fresh milk. So we try to not use the packaged ones. So that is, I think, our strongest USP, and I actually like it this way. Like, even I like drinking a lot of beverages, but I like the things of actual fruit, and that's something that we wanted to bring in the market and actually do it. So that's been our sort of
USP.
giving authentic flavors to
The customers.
these ones.
Right. I also heard about a special syrup from Korea named
Jochang.
Jochang.
Yeah.
So, what kind of syrup it is? Can you please tell about it? Because in Korea, you use it as an alternate to sugar. Am I right?
Yeah. So that's been used a lot as our alternative sugar. I think more recently less so. But in old traditional times, I think we used to use jochang a lot more. It's basically a sweet syrup that is made from barley. So we don't use it in our products like prevalently, but in one of the flavor called caramel brown that has jochang and brown sugar in it. So we try to mix both. It doesn't come from Korea, but yeah, we get it in India as well. You get everything in India. So ingredients, like, it's hard to mess around because you want freshness and everything. So we get it from India. I think caramel brown, the flavor that we have, to be very honest, I think we had a lot of fans around it. When we were doing small batches, it was easy to kind of get the texture and everything right. Now I think it has sort of degraded because we have to make bigger batches. So that's something that I'm still working on and improving. But that's a traditional thing that we wanted to bring as a different ingredient.
Okay. Taking a step back, and I just wanted to talk about your childhood, your school days. How did you ended up here in India? How do you decided to pursue your schooling in India? Where was your school located? What was its name? How was your childhood like? Can you please share it?
So I was born in Korea, in the place called Busan. So you may know it from Train to Busan. So you see a lot of zombies.
Right.
So I was grown up there, near Hyundai Beach, which is like, I think about 40 minutes walk from my house. So I remember a lot, going to the beach a lot with my dad on a cycle and things like that. That was my childhood. Then my dad actually started going to like a foreign country for a longer period of time as an expat. So he's an engineer as a occupation, and he started going to, first, I think the country he went to was UAE. So we stayed there for 6 months together. That was like my 5th grade. And then when we came back, then he got another assignment in India. In Rajasthan.
Okay.
So there's this place called
Chittorgarh, yes. There's a famous fort there, Chittorgarh fort. Right.
So we were staying there. So he was stationed there. My parents, my mom, everyone had moved with my sister. We were staying there. I think I have moved on to a boarding school because I I went to a public school there. It was called Aditya Birla Public School.
Okay. It's in Pilani, I guess. Pilani or...
I don't know. It was like 40 minutes away from my house, and then we had to always get in the bus early in the morning. It was kind of hectic, and also I still remember this. It was like kind of like a surprising culture shock to me, which was so I had like made few friends, and one of the friend I was actually I started the conversation to a friend.
Okay.
Okay, and I was like, hey, I wanted to ask something. Then suddenly the teacher comes from the back and slaps the friend. just because I have chatted with the person. So I felt really bad, and I think after that he didn't really talk to me. So I was like, oh shit, what did I do wrong? You know, I was kind of like feeling very bad, and that happened twice.
Oh.
So
But it's a normal thing in India.
that was like shocking to me. I still remember. But anyways, I wanted to pursue something in like just for a betterment for education, but also I wanted to kind of go away from my parents, like be a little more independent. So I already knew about the YuSung school before coming to India. And I had already taken some exams, and you know, my parents were just not ready to send me away. But I kept convincing them after like a month. Then they decided also, yeah, this guy can just go and do a schooling in boarding school. So then I started a boarding school in my 7th grade. At YuSung School in Missouri. That's where from 7th to 12th grade, I was in YuSung School.
Okay. Yeah. What do you think? Because you, till your 5th grade, was in Korea, right?
Yeah.
So how is schooling is different from India versus in Korea?
So I think in Korea, it's just like clustered with... So I think our generation was most competitive generation, like in Korea. So everyone is... it's like job is limited, but we have too many people, and education, just like India, is like so competitive. And I didn't like the environment as such, but you know, it was never there was never like, you know, resting. Even you come from home, like come from school, 3 p.m. then you go to some, I don't know, taekwondo classes, different classes, and you come back at like 9, 10.
It's almost like the same.
Like even elementary school we were doing, yeah. So I don't know whether
not much
I
different.
Can say I didn't really enjoy that. That sort of is my childhood, and I played a lot of sports. So I loved playing sports in Korea as well. So that kind of was always there.
Football is your favorite one?
Football is, yeah.
I got to know about this from our co-founder.
Yeah, we play a lot in the morning.
Yes.
Early morning we get up. People think like we're crazy. Like
he has a number saved in his phone by the name YuSung Football.
Yeah.
I got to know about this when he forwarded your number to me.
Yeah.
So I assumed that okay.
Yeah.
So
but only after I've gotten a podcast request from you that I found out that he's a CEO of Cashify. Before that, we didn't know. I was always shouting, "Hey, Knuckle, can you run?"
This is all about friendship, like, right?
Yeah.
This is the friendship, unconditional friendship.
Yeah.
So we can say that you grow up eating chola bhatura instead of kimchi.
You can say that, yeah. I mean, I didn't like school food as much because they always give dal and rice. Haven't been a big fan of school food, but my favorite thing is butter chicken. Anytime, any day.
Yes, it is.
I love going to Pandara Road as well.
Okay.
Like, that's my favorite thing.
Butter chicken.
Yeah.
Okay. How was God Tea established? What is the story behind it? What made you decide to start a business in India? Because after your schooling, firstly tell us about your college days, and then we can move to this topic. How
Sure.
established, yes.
So I think I would say that I had been always trying to take up a new challenge every time that was an opportunity. So I went to the US and I was in a college and studied there for 2 years. I think that was the time where it was most stimulating as an academically. So I pursued international relations. I was really interested in terrorism and the topics that came up during that time. And we all have to do a military service.
Yes,
So
in Korea,
that is
correct.
something that just kind of thought that maybe I should sort of do something in lines with
I think
what
it
I'm
is also
interested
essential in India now.
Oh yeah. So when I sort of entered the military, I went to the Air Force. So we have to do 2 years of service.
Oh, right after the school or during your school?
So it depends. You can do it anytime after, I think, 19 years old.
19 years old.
And you can choose to do before school, but what people usually do is they would go to the college for, let's say, half a semester, a year, and then, come and do the service and go back.
You have your choice, whatever force you want to join and do the service.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's just that you just have to join before, I think, you turn 35.
Okay.
So I've done 2 years of college. Then I've joined Air Force.
Air Force.
And when I went there, I went in as in the military police division. Nothing that I was, particularly...
On ground forces.
Yeah, so we were stationed at Seoul Airport, where where our VIP guests come in, or the president leaves from our airport, and that's where I was stationed. And what intrigued me was, I think I was always like a good athlete, and I wanted to do more physical activities while in military as well, and aligning with the interests that I had at the time with the terrorism. So I joined the counter-terror division, which was very small division. Like, I think max we had about 12 people. So any counter-terror attacks happen or anything that is, we are always standby, and we just like do a lot of physical training. So I was there for 2 years doing counter-terrorism, which was, I think, most physically challenging in my life. And I think that has also kind of toughened up my mental strength as well.
Correct.
And I have met great people in the military as well. So many people to learn from, and we're still in touch because we're so close to each other. So I would say I had the best experience. I had great experience in the military.
It has a good impact on your overall persona and your behavior and your mindset, right?
Yeah, I think that has given me a huge strength.
And discipline as well.
Not that I have like such a disciplined life now, but
in some way.
In a lot of ways, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, do they pay you as well, or it is a kind of unpaid service towards nation?
So I think you have like 4 ranks when you join the military, and towards the end, you can say I was getting paid maybe about 10,000 rupees a month, which is almost nothing. Now they get paid more. So, but at the time, like, we were hardly getting paid.
But I think that it's a good thing, and India should also adapt like things like this from our neighbor, because in situation like this, we also need this kind of training. At least everybody should know the basics of a drill, and mock drills are happening in India these days. So फिर उसकी ज़रूरत नहीं पड़ेगी.
I mean, 2 years is a lot, but
at least 6 months.
Some maybe, I don't know. I'll just be. It's like,
no, it's a good thing. It's a good thing.
Good training was great. I mean, and then we also have to serve after you are done and discharged. You still have to serve, I think, 7 years.
Okay.
Just every year you have to go and do small training, like 2 days, 3 days. Go shoot and
it's a good learning. Good learning. Yeah. Actually, it's a good learning. So you studied political science and terrorism, right? You don't.
Yeah. So then after that, during military time, I actually wanted to transfer to a sort of a bigger university, because the first one I went to was more of a liberal arts college
in Korea.
No, in the US.
US only. Okay.
So I, filed for a transfer, so I got into NYU, went to NYU for next 2 years. And I was just doing a lot of internships at the embassy while
pursuing your graduation.
Yeah, pursuing for undergrad in politics. So at that time, I really wanted to become a diplomat. So that was something that I was pursuing, and was working in the embassy and figuring out if I want to do this. then answer was kind of like maybe not. I think it just like saw a lot of limitation as to what you could do and a lot of problem solving. It's just restriction was not something that I kind of wanted to pursue and kind of find out.
Right.
So then I had this opportunity where some company called Postco, they were doing a recruiting in the US.
Okay.
So luckily I got in touch and did an interview. Then I thought I was going to not make it, but they have given me a offer letter and said you can, when you graduate, and you can come and join our company. So I was lucky in that way that in my last semester was so relaxed because I already had a job
an
secured.
offer in my
Yeah. So then after that I just moved back to Korea. Then I started in the company called Postco. It's a steel making company. We were also sent to like a countryside again, Pohang. So it's not necessarily. I don't think I've lived in Seoul for that long, to be very honest. So I was there stationed for 2.5 years. I was in the HR department. I was working there for doing a recruiting or doing a lot of education. So I was in that sector. Then my trip happened in 2019 January.
To India.
I just wanted to come back and I don't know, there was no agenda.
Okay.
It was just like a couple of friends, can we go to
Let's
Woodstock?
catch up.
And
Right.
I want to go back to Mussoorie. I just want to catch up. So just made a trip, 5 days trip, I think. It was so relaxed. We went up to Mussoorie.
Right.
We were just enjoying. We met some teachers that are still there. And then I went to Cyber Hub. And Cyber Hub was not there when I was graduating in 2011. And I was like, it's moving so fast. Like, it's growing and changing so fast.
Right.
And everything like Starbucks, everything like, sort of was there.
Correct.
So I was like, this is very
Fast-paced
quickly
development.
moving.
Right.
Yeah. And then I was kind of surprised. And we were all chatting different things. Random ideas came up. Like, like in the US, I used to have bubble tea. It's trending there. Why isn't there anything here? That was a conversation that was just like passing by.
Conversation amongst the friends.
Conversation between us. Then I went back. Then nothing really hit me. But just one day, I don't know, just out of randomness, it just like felt like, would I want to do a corporate job for a longer period of time? And I was also kind of feeling a little stuck as a career. Of course, it was only been like 2.5 years I've been into a corporate job, but I knew that it wasn't really something that I wanted to pursue for a longer period of time. So then if I had the mindset, then I just thought, maybe I'll just try to end that and move on to something else. So that's when I sort of decided.
Okay, then you came back to India in 2019.
2019 December.
December.
Yeah.
And how did you ended up for this idea, got tea?
Got tea actually. So after my trip in January in 2019, then I started thinking, what should we do? In April, I kind of like had, okay, I need to start something. I want to maybe pursue this bubble tea thing. I love food in general and also been, particularly beverage is something that I was always interested. So in the US, I was staying in New York and was exposed to a lot of new food options.
Okay.
And I always saw some like boba guys with like a long line every time. I wanted to go and try it. And some I felt were like, okay, this is good. But it's not like worth the wait for like 2 hours and this like why does it create so much buzz? And I traveled around and had some desserts and sort of like explored a lot. So I think that always kind of carried with me. I didn't really think that I will start like a F&B brand or something. But I knew when bubble tea was a topic, that was like I felt there were a lot of opportunity because it was just trending in the US, Singapore, in different parts of
Right.
the world.
Correct.
And it's also my friends like who are from India, and I know of my partner who now stays in Korea. He's also been studying in Singapore,
Okay.
and he noticed that a lot of Indian people love bubble tea too. The texture is kind of similar to sabudana, so it's not like a very foreign matter is what I
Right.
felt.
Right.
And if it's introduced in the right way, I think this can pick up was what I had imagined.
So you have, I think, 2 other co-founders as well among with you.
So we started with we started with 4 co-founders,
four
including
co-founders.
myself.
Yes.
So one is Sua, who now is in Korea. So after COVID, he decided to stay in Korea.
Right.
Then there's Joe and Arman. So we are all from same
The
batch,
same-
same
same
high
batch.
school. So
Okay.
we started together.
So
Yeah.
it's kind of dream. Say school friends became business partners, right? Running
Yeah.
a business
Yeah.
in India, and this is goat tea. Okay. So what are the challenges? Because you started your business in 2019, right? And right after that, we know that COVID and lockdown hit all over the world.
Yeah.
So what are the challenges, and how did you face these challenges and overcome them?
I think I would say challenges were immense in a way where, of course, COVID was one of the challenges, but it's something that you can't really change anything.
Correct.
You just have to be patient. But I think actually now looking back, COVID also helped us. Because that was the time when I got interested in getting into a branding, and given a lot of thoughts, designs, and efforts towards that
Right.
during that time.
Right.
Because there was nothing else that that I could do on site. So
COVID gave us a time, a pause to think and to create something.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I think that's also because I kept believing that this can still happen. So I think this context is important. So before COVID happened in March 2020, right?
Right.
I still remember because I was just like lockdown happened, and then police were chasing with the stick.
Right. Right.
I was scared. I was running. I wanted to go just buy vegetables. That was I would remember. And before that, we were doing some events at universities. So over there, we kind of saw the possibility of this thing coming true.
You started with a college fest, right? If I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
Uh,
Two college fests.
2 college fest. Okay.
And they worked out pretty well. So one was college fest. One
Another was
this LBB
in
event.
Sundar Nursery. if I'm-
Sundar Nursery,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
I know everything. Yes. So I still remember that time because that was our first event. And actually we didn't have any registration, nothing that we had. Our company wasn't formed. So it was very hard to get into, but we got some help from our seniors who had Sleepy Owl. So they have helped us to kind of get a space, and then we just had 2 days of that test over there, and response was great. I think I remember we were selling matcha, and one person came 7 times to reorder different beverages.
Okay.
And said they love this drink and wanted to keep. They wanted to basically know where can they purchase offline.
Right.
So that's when we weren't really set up. Then we did 2 events. Then COVID happened. So it was we didn't have a physical shop. So it was also meant that it's easy to kind of, we did it for fun now, let's move on with life. That could have happened.
It could have happened.
Yeah.
Correct.
But luckily, I think, so I had to then go back to Korea.
Korea, right.
So I flew, everyone was wearing mask. I still remember,
correct.
It was a panic time, right?
Correct.
So I went back to Korea. Then I started working in a different startup. like basically moved on a little bit, but I still was working on the Gotti project on my back, like, you know, just reading up, doing lots of like branding. Then in November of 2020, Arman and Joe went ahead and started like a small shop in Safdarjung, but it's not, the location that we are in wasn't the first spot. So we started with partnering with friend's restaurant.
Okay.
So we got a room inside of that.
Okay.
So very small room. So they got that spot. They just bought like a simple fridge and maybe brought our desktop to take orders. And then just like launched 4 flavors.
Okay.
That was
you started with initially
Only
with 4
4
flavors. Okay. What were the flavors, if you remember?
It was winter, so caramel brown was definitely one. Matcha we had that time. Then strawberry blossom, I think. Then there was one more flavor, I don't recall right now. But we started only with 4 flavors. And we kept adding like one by one and as we went. And that time we weren't even on Swiggy or Zomato. It's just like word of mouth. People, like friends were coming.
Right.
And that market wasn't as populated or popular, which is kind of gotten
right
now. So we started very small. And I wasn't even there when when Joe and Arman started. So they have told me that, you know, hey, we have started. But for me, there was no way of coming into a country because as a tourist visa was all banned.
Correct.
So I had to kind of get a employee visa or business visa. And business visa was difficult because our incorporation was done, but there were no turnover, so there was no way to kind of support me to come.
Correct.
So I had to get a job. So I had no other choice. Then luckily I met this person.
You got a job in India then?
Yeah.
Oh,
so
nice.
Figured out many ways to come into the country.
There is a word called in India, jugaad.
Jugaad kar diya main. I just, I mean, that was what I kind of like.
Visa ka jugaad kiya.
Sare jugaad kiya. So, there was this guy who invests into startups with Korean VCs and PEs, and you know, he wanted to have someone on ground in India because he was there, but like because of COVID, he wasn't also really, you know, basing out himself out of India. So I said, then I can help with, you know, just like a minimum amount that I can get to just get the visa. So I'll do, you know, 2 jobs at the time.
Okay.
So that's how I was lucky to kind of get that visa, so that I came in January, I think, in 2021.
21, yeah.
So that's when I came and joined. Most of the time we were spending the time at the store, innovating. Then we took the next shop because we felt that
the space is smaller.
Space is too small, and also it's a restaurant, so like the food smell and everything is just not really matching our vibe. So at the time rent was also cheap because it's during the COVID
during
time.
the COVID, right? Correct.
Yeah, and we also started in an illegal property. So there were more jugaad to kind of do.
India, you have to do these kind of jugaads only.
And then policemen will come, sir, please. हम वो पैसे नहीं है अभी. You know, you'll have to give us some time. So we started like that in a different shop. That kind of started picking up. Yeah.
You now completed almost more than 5 years with Gotti, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, almost, yeah.
Yeah. How do you feel? What is the difference between an Indian consumer and a consumer from Korea? What is the difference?
So, I mean, I haven't done any business in Korea.
But you originated from Korea. You based in Korea, so you might have any idea. Right?
Okay. I mean, I can give you my perspective, but it's just like now people tell me I'm like 70% Indian and 30, maybe 25% Korean and 5% from the US or something.
Correct.
So my mindset
Because you carry all the cultures where you have been and spent time.
Yeah. So might not be a accurate picture that I'm drawing for you, but Korea, I think, is a very small country to begin with.
Right.
And when something like especially in F&B, some trend happens, it's very quick. Because people go to these spots where very popular spots, and it's also easy for business to expand in those areas. So then it picks up very fast. So for example, if now that people are traveling abroad a lot, right, in Korea, like, you know, people will go to Thailand, people will go to Vietnam.
Right.
That made an access point where people are bringing the food from those places back to Korea. They started a massive chain, and it kind of fades out. It stays, but of course, there were a lot of people who are just like jumping in and starting that kind of brand and just massively expanding, and kind of fades out. So that's like a Korean consumer behavior where they pick up on a trend, but
Slowly
changes their mind very quickly.
Very
quickly. Okay, we want.
They're very
this.
trendy.
Yeah, very trendy. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
While in India, if consumers stick to a taste or a brand, they are loyal to it. You are saying this.
I think the loyalty is
much higher.
Much higher. Yeah.
Because we have been eating chola bhatura since years. You have been eating butter chicken for more than 12 years now, and still you are eating and loving it.
Yeah, loving it. Still aloo tikki and all these things. Yeah.
Okay, what are the cultural similarities that you see in both the countries?
Especially I think education-wise, and if you see K-drama, why did K-drama get popular? Because we see some similarities in that kind of culture context.
Correct.
So definitely like family, sort of like the idea of the family, very different.
Right. But we both include rice in our dishes, right?
Yeah. Yeah, Korea has a lot of like rice. Every meal is basically based on rice. And so yeah, we do share. We share like Independence Day also.
Right.
Same day.
Correct. Yes. Coming back to goat tea. So I just wanted to know how many stores are present right now, and what are your plans for the expansion? Also, what all flavors are you offering? Because you started from 4 flavors only.
Yeah.
So can you please draw a picture around it?
Yeah. So right now we have 11 stores across Delhi, NCR, and Bangalore. We are trying to open up in Noida. We
Noida.
Just haven't really.
Thank God. I come from Noida only.
Actually, if you see our comments on our Instagram, people are really mad that we are not in Noida yet.
Yes.
Sorry to those people. We are getting there. We just like been really looking for a spot.
That is the only reason, because I haven't tried it yet. But yes, this is I'm tasting it very first time. We have couple of stores of locally in Noida, but the taste that you say it is a bit different. So we are missing you. Please come soon.
Yeah, so Noida is on top priority right now, and we just opened in Bangalore. The response has been great, and recently we've been doing a lot of matcha related campaigns. So after matcha campaign, we added a lot of matcha flavors as well. We worked on the supply chain and getting better source of matcha as well. That actually kind of gave us a good boost, and now we doubled the sales of matcha in a month span, and we're going to do more on matcha. So like matcha workshop to educate people. That's something that I think as a DNA of Gotti that's always been with us. About we are always kind of out there to educate people on the authentic flavors. This is, I think, what we would say more authentic than versus how we make it in other places.
Right.
So we try to kind of set that standard and also make it accessible. So matcha, if you get best matcha, it's very expensive.
Right. Correct.
but we try to get a good matcha at a reasonable price, but make the best of that ingredient to make it accessible. This is good matcha that you should kind of have a parameters on. So we want to also not just introduce the flavor, but also make it accessible so that it can really spread as a culture. If you only do very, very premium, top grade things, we can also do better.
Yes.
But that's not
everything
going to
comes with a
spread.
price.
Yeah.
Yes. And
So
in
building
India,
a culture requires
correct. And in India,
balance of that.
you always have to keep the price in mind.
Yeah.
They are very emotionally driven, but also price is a thing that comes into
Price
the play.
sensitive thing. Our customers haven't been really questioning a lot about the prices, because I think
Correct.
we try to build a lot of
Because
transparency
it
around.
is something unique that they are
Right.
not getting
Right.
anywhere, at least. Okay.
So going back to your question, we are trying to add about 10 more stores
10
this
more
year. So we've been a bit slow until third store, which last year we were at 3 stores at the similar time as now. But we added about, let's say, 8 more.
8 more.
Right? And we're trying to do 10 more
10,
stores.
okay.
And if we can pick up this pace, I think we would try to do a little more. But that's right now the plan. We want to enter other cities as well. So one at a time,
Yeah, perfectly fine and interesting plan. Is it also available online? Like if I want to order it from my home, can I order it?
Yeah, Zomato and Swiggy.
Zomato and Swiggy is that. Okay. So you have to be within the city where your store is located.
Right.
If you
Right.
it is not available if I want to, like, I am staying outside Delhi or outside Bangalore and I want to order it right now. It is not available, right?
No, that's because you would always get like a fresh
correct,
thing,
freshness.
even though it's packed in these.
This.
Yeah, well, it's mainly
Correct.
fresh at the store.
But I also heard, or I also I have seen somewhere on website that you also sell made your DIY matcha or something like
that
that.
was like a long back when we were at COVID.
Acha.
I was trying to make a project. It did not.
Okay.
I would say it failed.
Every business has its own stories, so yes.
I think, but I know why it failed. So if I were to launch it again, I think I can do a better job. But I think at the time it was COVID. Not a lot of people want to spend so much time, even during the COVID or not. There was too much work to be done with the kit. So you have to cook bubbles. At our store, actually, cooking bubbles is a task.
Correct.
It takes about 1.5 hours to cook one batch.
Oh.
So that keeps going on. And actually, people don't know about these things.
Even I don't know. What are these bubble made up of?
So it's tapioca starch.
Starch.
So it's made into small balls. Then those get boiled with some sugar, and it also has to get simmered, and then you put it in the hot water bath. And there are specific times, and that's something that we figured out over time.
Okay.
But if these are even skipped a little bit, there will definitely be some changes in texture or the taste and
because that is one of the thing. The name, as the name says, that it's bubble tea.
Yeah.
If you compromise with bubble,
then of
the
course
tea is
it will
gone.
change the whole thing, right?
Yeah, but good to know that this is the process how a bubble are made. मैं तो पहले यही सोचता था कि bubbles are like ready-made thing or these are being made somewhere in a factory and you are sourcing it. But
I mean, the raw tapioca pearls are made in Taiwan that we source.
Okay.
So there are only maybe I would say 3 things that we source from 3 ingredients that we source from outside, which is the tapioca pearls, matcha from Japan, and taro powder from Taiwan.
Yeah. And tea is from Assam.
Tea is from Assam, yeah.
Assam. Perfect. Tell us about the investments and the partnership that you have been in with when it comes to oat tea.
So for Gotti, in the beginning phase, we had raised from like friends and family, like as other people do. And the second one was also friends and family from the same people who had come in the beginning. We had like phases because because when we started Gotti, the whole idea was to make it a pan-India brand, and I didn't want to deviate anything from that. So then, of course, during going through the COVID, and I've made a lot of mistakes too.
Right.
So that's why we also needed some, investment, and that was what we are seeking. And third round was very special because we had a lot of individuals who had come in, and that gave us a lot of moral boost as well, in the sense that
When people start
people can
trusting you,
maybe
right.
trust us, and
Right.
can be a made into a business model.
Right.
And so with that, we raised about 2.2 CR,
Okay.
and we opened up 2 more stores, plus we renovated or moved Sapdajang to where it is right now.
Right now, correct.
And we stuck to that, and after that we didn't raise much
Okay.
or any money. We just wanted to really make business profitable, and we were just working on our ops and internal things, and that's how it's been. But of course, because it's something that we want to expand and make it pan-India, we started looking for more partnerships where, honestly, investment side, I've also enjoyed it, while it's stressful thing to go through rejection, go
correct.
through a lot of meeting a lot of people, explaining
Right.
how bubble tea can become big, because everyone had I get it.
Yes, it's
a lot
own
of skeptical
understanding, right?
thing.
Yeah.
But we kept believing in it, so
Right.
we are fortunate to kind of have some interest at least to partner up with another beverage brand, which is Blue Tokai.
Okay.
So
nice.
we had an opportunity to kind of because I think we are also based out of Delhi NCR. We also knew about the brand. Actually, before I started Gotti, I remember still till now, the first podcast that I watched was a conversation. I don't know the panelists, but conversation between the panelist and Matt and Namrata.
Okay.
So I still remember their journey of how they started as a coffee brand,
Okay.
and I think I kind of took that as a reference also in the beginning when we started.
Right.
So I still remember that, and their value is so resonates with us a lot, and the culture, everything to that is something that we valued a lot. So initially, of course, it wasn't in our agenda per se, but because I kind of also had to admit that we don't know how bubble tea is going to grow in India, and also can we raise money and do an IPO ourselves?
Right.
That's a little doubtful. So that was a little bit of, I guess, quick realization and sort of admitting to where we are at and how we can grow as a business. It was nothing like attached to a ego or anything. It's just
Right.
like brand doing well. So I've tried to really make decisions around the brand first, then investors, and then us as a
Right.
founders. So just having that mindset, I think brand can grow with some already existing backend with Blue Tokai.
Right.
And of course, expansion, as long as the company or the brand is doing well, the funding or investment into the expansion is not a problem. So that's something that we have taken the decision about a year ago.
So should we expect Blue Tokai stores in collaboration with Gotti in future, or like you will keep opening the separate stores?
But you'll be surprised, actually, we are integrated in a lot of ways.
Oh, you're integrated.
So,
Okay.
for example, like in Golf Course Road, we are right next to each other.
Oh, okay.
But people don't know it's operated by under the same company. That's
Yeah.
a little bit of trick. But
Right.
no, but our standards are same in terms of hygiene, any process that is coming in place. Of course, Blue Tokai being ahead of us in
Right.
terms of the experience,
Yes.
we learned from that a lot.
But both brands offers different categories and different products. So
Yeah.
so both has different customers and customer niche, right? We can say.
Yeah, customer base are totally different.
Different, correct.
But also the products that we make are totally differently sort of managed and made. It can be under the same place.
Yes.
But that brand essence of the product, the coreness, that will still carry on its own identity.
Correct. Because they are with coffee and you are with tea.
Yeah.
What do you like more, tea or coffee?
That's a tricky question because for a brand I wouldn't need to say tea. But I am very hardcore like ice Americano person.
Okay.
So every morning I have to have like a very strong ice Americano with less water, lots of ice.
Okay.
So I would say coffee is a thing for me too. But I love making new beverages that pairs well balanced and exploring new types of flavors that can come in. The recent my favorite sort of experiment was on vanilla bean syrup.
Vanilla syrup. Oh.
So now a lot of brands I think would use vanilla syrup from Monin and different companies. And we initially used to, but we make it completely from scratch. So we procure vanilla beans.
Okay.
We take the seeds out.
Okay.
And we boil them.
Oh.
We make it into syrup. We sieve it. Then it goes to the stores.
Oh.
And it tastes very different.
Very different.
So when you see our vanilla bean based drinks, you see these small dots. Those are actually vanilla beans.
Vanilla beans. Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
So we are about to end our podcast and coming to our final round, which is our tech rapid fire round, we can say. I'm going to ask 4 or 5 questions to you and you have to answer it like in a word or two.
Okay.
Should we start?
Pressure?
No. It's
Okay.
kind. What smartphone are you using now?
iPhone.
Which model?
I think 12.
12. Oh, okay. What's the one app you can't live without?
Right now, Zomato.
Zomato. Okay.
Yeah.
How often do you upgrade your phone? Because since you are already using iPhone 12.
Every 3 years?
3 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I actually downgraded because I'm using my wife's old phone.
Acha, oh, okay.
I've downgraded. My phone started working, so I've downgraded it.
It's time to sell it on Cashify.
Oh yes, true.
Have you ever used Cashify?
Not yet. I went to the website. I wanted more money, so I didn't execute to sell. But I will try and use it next time.
Yeah. And the last question is, if you have to pick between Samsung or Apple, what will you pick?
I still use
iOS.
iPhone.
Yeah,
because I use Mac and everything is just.
It's
super
give you
easy
a
that way.
ecosystem. It's easy to transfer and share files across. Yeah. So
And I'm like 25% Korean, so.
Yeah.
That
It makes sense.
patriotism is
By
still
the way,
there, but
I am using a Samsung.
okay, fine. You can. Yeah, you do the
I am a
justice
Samsung
for
guy.
Ali. Okay, I have Korean card though.
Yeah, right.
Let's just,
Yeah. Correct.
that's enough.
Okay. So YuSung, it's been amazing hearing your story. You are truly an inspiration because you are blending Korean roots with Indian taste and culture, and your journey is a proof that embracing cultures, taking bold steps, can definitely and truly be the change.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And one last thing, you want to share with all the young entrepreneurs that are seeing you as an inspiration or want to start their own journey. What would you like to share?
I think just a couple of things. One is I wish this is something that I carried on coming from Korea, having this, special background to have been living in India. I want a lot of Korean entrepreneurs to come over and do some business in India as well. Whether it's starting from scratch or whether it's doing a lot of partnership. I hope to sort of, be some help in initial stages, because I think I had a rough time when I was starting up.
Right.
Like I didn't know where to go to sort of do incorporation. I spent a lot of money, and that's something that I think can be avoided. Like if you have even small knowledge around it.
Correct.
So that is one. And second thing is, it's nothing really special that, like, you know, to say like I was too smart to start this or nothing like that. I just think that I was just believed in what I was doing and maybe just constantly did what I had to do next day rather than thinking of quitting, or I was just resilient in a way.
Right.
So if any entrepreneurs are also going through that route where doubting yourself, of course you have to be very objective in a way,
Right.
whether to check off, whether you're doing the right path.
things,
But
right.
other than that, should believe in it, should keep pushing. Yeah. That's it.
It's been amazing. Thank you for joining us on Be the Change. And guys, if you like the conversation and अगर आपको पसंद आई हो और आप ऐसे ही conversation और देखना चाह रहे हो, तो definitely like and share this video and subscribe to our channel. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yes.